Welcome again to another episode of Lindsay Psychologist. Today we're diving deep into the pursuit of emotions in our life. Get comfy, grab a snack, and get ready for this episode. How can emotions affect our environment? While growing up, we feel and experience a lot of emotions that we have never felt before, and we don't understand them, and that is okay. Emotions are a natural part of human being. In this episode, we'll explain more about emotions, how can they affect our environment, and more. Now that we have introduced today's topic, let's move into the main part of the episode. We're going to start by talking about the importance of emotions in human behavior and how they influence our daily lives.
Yes, I agree because emotions are everywhere. They affect how we think, how we act, and how we interact with others, even when we don't really notice it.
Exactly. Like when you're in a good mood, everything just feels easier. You're more motivated, more confident, and you actually want to be around people. But when you're stressed or angry, you might react without thinking, or you just want to be alone.
And emotions also kind of guide us. They show us what matters. Fear can protect us. Sadness can be a sign that we help. And joy let us know when something is really meaningful to us.
I see that a lot at school. If you're feeling confident, you participate more or try new things. But if you're anxious, even if you know the answer, you might stay quiet.
Yeah, and it's not just about us as individuals. Emotions affect the whole environment. Like, one person with a positive attitude can make a space feel supportive, but negative emotions can spread tension really fast.
That's true. Emotions are kind of contagious, and that's why understanding them is so important, especially when it comes to how we treat others.
So now that we've talked about how emotions affect our behavior, it also helps to understand where emotions actually come from. That's why psychologists have created different theories to explain how emotions work.
Yeah, these theories help explain why we feel the way we do, not just what we feel.
One of the most known ones is the James Lange theory. It says emotions happen after our body reacts. So basically, we don't cry because we're sad, we feel sad because we're crying.
But not everyone agrees with that. There's also the Cannon-Bart theory, which says emotions and physical reactions happen at the same time. Like, your heart starts racing and you feel fear at the same moment.
And then there's the Scatcher-Singer theory, or the two-factor theory. This one says emotions depend on both what our body feels and how we interpret the situation.
Which makes sense because two people can feel the same physical reaction but feel different emotions depending on how they understand what's happening.
Exactly, and that's where emotional self-regulation comes in. It's basically the ability to manage your emotions instead of letting them control you.
For example, if you're really angry, self-regulation helps you pause, take a breath, and think before reacting. That can stop a small problem from turning into a big conflict.
And it doesn't mean ignoring emotions. It's more about understanding them and choosing how to respond in a healthy way.
Some simple ways to practice emotional self-regulation are deep breathtaking, listening to music, talking to someone that you trust, or taking a short break when things feel overwhelming.
This is especially important during adolescence, because emotions can feel really intense and confusing, but learning to manage them can make a big difference.
Now that we talked about emotions and how to regulate them, it's also important to mention that sometimes emotions can become overwhelming and turn into emotional disorders.
Yeah, and some of the most common emotional disorders today include anxiety disorders, depression, and stress-related disorders. A lot of people experience these, especially with everything going on in the world.
Anxiety disorders, for example, can make people feel constantly worry or fear even when there's no immediate danger. This can affect school, relationships, and daily activities.
Depression is another common one. It's more than just feeling sad. It can involve feeling unmotivated, tired, or disconnected for a long period of time.
And stress plays a big role too. Too much pressure from school, social expectations, or personal problems can lead to emotional burnout if it's not managed properly.
That's why it is so important to talk about mental health openly and to ask for help when emotions feel too heavy to handle alone.
This connects really well to motivation because motivation helps us move forward even when emotions are difficult.
Motivation isn't just about achieving goals, it's about personal growth. It helps us learn from challenges and keep going even when things don't go as planned.
There are different types of motivation too. Sometimes we're motivated by external things like grades or rewards, and other times by internal reasons like personal satisfaction or self-improvement.
For example, studying just to pass an exam is external motivation, but studying because you want to understand and grow is internal motivation.
Motivation helps us build confidence and resilience. It pushes us to develop skills, face fears, and improve ourselves over time.
When emotions and motivation work together, they help shape our behavior and decisions. Being aware of how we feel and what motivates us can lead to healthier choices and personal growth.
In this episode of Lindsay Psychologist, we explored the importance of emotions in our daily lives. We talked about how emotions influence our behavior, environment, and our daily relationships. We also discussed about the different psychological theories of emotions, emotional self-regulations, common emotional disorders, and the role of motivation in personal growth.
Emotions are a natural and essential part of being a human. Understanding them and learning how to manage them can improve our well-being, relationships, and the way we react to certain situations. When we become aware of our emotions and motivations, we can make healthier decisions and grow as individuals. Take a moment to reflect on your emotions today. Try to identify how you feel and why. Practice a healthy way to manage those emotions. If something feels overwhelming, remember that asking for help is an option and a sign of strength, not a weakness. Don't forget to keep listening to Lindsay Psychologist for more conversations about mental health and personal growth.